Yo, what's up, you guys? It's your boy Three Stacks in this thing, representing my squad as always. And today I'm going to be going over the very first deck that I built when I got into the game of Dragon Ball Super. Now, I do like Dragon Ball Z a lot, and my personal favorite character, you know, it's not about like the my favorite villain or my favorite, like hero or good guy. My favorite character, period, of all time is Frieza. If I was to pick Goku, Vegeta, Beerus, anybody, it would be Frieza always. And that's the main reason why I even got into this game because I heard that he had a deck dedicated to him. And I've played this deck literally since I got into the game. And even when, the meta shifted and like Mega Frieza was meta, and then you had Apes, and then like all these different decks, and like Veggies, and Universe 7 now, and all these other decks, like I kept playing this deck faithfully. Just like how I am in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like when I love a deck, I'm going to play it regardless of what people think, what people tell me, and how people say the deck's good or bad. I still am able to make some really good plays with this deck. This deck's extremely consistent, it's control-oriented, and it's still a hard counter to all meta decks, and that's why I really love it. So this is my Golden Frieza's army deck. This is my favorite leader. I think that he is the absolute best leader in the game. He's the only leader that allows you to draw early, late, and mid. Like, you're always able to draw. You draw unawakened, and then when you awaken, you draw. And on the awakened side, you're able to draw and then draw again. Like, this leader has the most draw power, and he allows you to restand your energies. Those are the best abilities that a leader can have. The only thing that would make him just nuts is if he gave himself crit, but then he'd be too broken. So starting off with the main, we play 4 Avenging Friezas. If you're able to actually hit your target off this card, you +1 every time. This deck is really consistent. Like I said, it has no issue with generating hand advantage. You're never going to be in a game and have that issue where, oh, I don't have enough cards in hand. This deck is normally able to out-resource even the best of decks, even if it's Ginyu or if it's a Universe 7 Frieza deck. I played a Universe 7 Frieza deck today at Dragon's Lair, and I literally plussed harder than this guy and beat him anyways. This deck is just really, really consistent. I put in a lot of cards to supplement for the one weakness that it has, which is aggression. This deck is very control-oriented. It normally stalls and is able to control the board, but it needs pressure. It needs to be able to keep going for the kill when the time is right, because you can't give your opponent too much energy, because then you'll be in a disposition. Then we have 3 Bulmas. I found that the 4 Frieza and the 3 Bulmas were perfect. I was going to maximize 4 and 4, but there actually have been times where I ended up decking out on myself, so I just cut one of the Bulmas. She's an easy card to replace, but these are your 1-drops that allow you to net more resources. Ultimately, you do want to drop your Frieza's army cards first so that you can abuse your leader, load your drop area, restand your energies, and get that draw power. Then we have 4 Sorbets. What I really love about Sorbet is not only is he a blocker, but he allows you to out-combo your opponent. So he's the ideal sword and shield 1-drop. And another thing is he's a 1-drop, and he's basically free. Every Frieza's army card you play is going to pay for itself in one way, shape, or form. This card allows you to even go in for the win because you're able to use his battle ability, pitch 2, from the top of your deck. For every Frieza's army, it gets loaded to your combo area. There have been times where I literally just hit 2 that were 10,000, and it was perfect. It added a free 20,000 just by discarding a extra card that I couldn't combo with anyways. So this card is really skillful. It's obviously just the best blocker in my opinion, right next to Guldo. And Guldo's pretty good too. He does allow you to rest 2 drops or lower. It allows you to combat veggies because the Kaba, they normally leave it always inactive. You want to put it in rest and attempt to swing over it and kill it. Or you can put it in rest and then drop your 4-drop Frieza and then just kill the Kaba. As long as you can kill the Kaba, they cannot Shugesh into kill, and that's when it really gets detrimental on your end. So you want to play these cards. They're really good. Blockers are amazing. This deck has searchable blockers that are 1-drops and have synergy with your leader. Then we have our super combo, which we play 3 of. The reason why I play 3 Dodoras is because I do play 1 Shugesh. So we still have 4 super combos. Just one of them is a little tech just to have that Saki combo that I really like to resolve and save my life. What's really cool about this deck is it doesn't have a problem starting its plays pretty early. For the most part, the deck's pretty free. It has a lot of 1 and 2 drops. It doesn't really wait turns to get started. It's able to cycle through its deck from turn 1 and beyond. And then we have some higher plays. We do have 2 destructive occupation Friezas. What this card basically does is if you combo with him and your leader's yellow, you get to play him in rest. Now, he is a Frieza's Army card, so you're able to sack him off with the leader and draw and restand energies. What's really awesome about this card is he's a pressure card. He helps to mitigate for some of the weaknesses for this deck. This deck lacks in firepower and aggression, and he's one of the ways that you can do it. Because anything that has 15 is always going to be a threat to the leader, regardless if they're awakened or unawakened. It doesn't matter. 15 is a really solid number. Even without the assistance of combo power, this card is a threat. And normally your opponent, if he's smart, will get rid of this before you're able to reactivate this in active mode. Because at that point, this card will be forcing your opponent to either sacrifice cards to out combo it, or they'll take that hit to their life, being greedy to get the draw, and you're that much closer to victory. So this card's amazing. I do play 3 returning terror. This card is just amazing. This is absolutely my favorite Frieza, like just hands down. This card has won me so many games. In fact, nearly all of my games normally are dictated by this card. Like once I hit turn 4, my deck just explodes. It is able to get the wins turn 2 and 3, but you only do that with your Overrealms. You have to use your Overrealms or Planet of Vegeta to self-awaken. When you self-awaken, you're able to out-resource your opponent and use your Overrealms and your super combos to be aggressive with your leader, and that's how you can kill him. But once you get to turn 4, this deck is able to do some phenomenal things. And the Returning Terra is definitely just not only my favorite Frieza, but it's just one of my favorite cards in general in the entire game. Regardless of whether you blow your opponent's board up, it's going to have double attack. It's going to have dual attack and double strike. This card has the potential to hit 4 of your opponent's life. And if you're able to combo, if you have the resources to combo with it twice, it will hit 4 of your opponent's life. And its auto, which is also amazing, it's able to KO up to 2 rest mode battle cards that your opponent has. So if your opponent has something that he swung with you earlier on in his turn, and you know it's going to be a threat to you the following turn when it goes back to reactive, whether it has high attack or an amazing ability or an auto, you're just going to be able to blow your opponent's board up. And then on top of that, you're able to swing for double strike twice. This card is always dictating the tide of my games. I even use this to force my opponent to combo, to negate, to block. I use this just to even bait sometimes, knowing that they have no choice but to stop it. Once they hit, like I've had my opponent at 2, I swung with this twice to force him to combo. I comboed 1 or 2 every time, dropped his hand solo, and then I overrun, played Scientist Fu, and then swung in for game. It was just amazing. And then to complement this Frieza, I do play 3 Clan of Terrors. I find that 3 and 3 of each of these is perfect. You have so much draw power. This deck is so consistent. You never have an issue where you have not seen one of these. You normally see multiples of both throughout the progression of the game, especially when it comes to the time when you're actually able to play these, because you can only play these on turn 4 unless you play objections. You're normally going to have cycled through multiples of them. And Clan of Terror is still an amazing card. I love the information and the knowledge, letting me know that the resources that I've expended on this turn, are they worth it? Am I able to go in for game? I look at your hand. I can see your super combos, your future plays that you've set up for next turn. I can see whether you have the negate or not. That lets me know, do I attack or do I leave this card in active mode? Because if I leave it in active mode, my opponent has to resort to a different method to get rid of it, because it's always going to be a threat. It's a double strike. So this card is still amazing. I find that it helps me a lot. It normally seals the win for me mid to late game. It's just really awesome. There are even some amazing evolve cards. I will even play an evolve card like the Evolve 7 drop in rest mode, because when you read it, it says it has to be evolved in order to get its ability. Knowing that that's one of your opponent's best plays, you can just snipe their most powerful cards with this. So Clan of Terror is definitely a deal sealer as well, but I find that Returning Terror is just the better one of the 2. But these are my game enders. I don't really need to go to turn 5 and 6 and beyond. Like normally by turn 4, this deck can just end it. But it's able to do that even beforehand. Then I play a Saiyan engine in my deck. I play 1 Shugesh. To complement that, I play 1 Explosive Spirit Son Goku, because this combo can just help me a lot. It normally has ended games where my opponent thought he was going to kill me. I had 2 or less life. He swung and comboed every single card that he had, even did the double strike Champa, and my only response was one Shugesh plus a Goku. Not only did I end that combo, kill every card out of his hand, but now I have a blocker with barrier, and I'm guaranteed to live next turn. And nobody really expects this coming because I'm playing Frieza's army from set 1, so it's an accrutement. It's a beneficial accrutement. It helps me a lot, and I'm able to search these cards out because I play the Saiyan engine. Then we have the 1-0 openings. It provides the option for allowing me to add cards to my hand and also self-awakening. This deck is not something you want to rush. You don't want this leader to awaken. Just in one turn, if you hypothetically hit a target off your avenging, that's 1. You sack it off and draw, that's a +1. And then you reset an energy, then you awaken, you draw 2, that's a +2. And then you use his ability again, you draw, that's 4 cards you've added, and then you declare an attack, that's 5. But all by itself, if the avenging doesn't hit, you get to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you hit 2 avengings, you get to cycle 7 cards through your deck. You basically draw 7 in one turn. You do not want this leader to awaken because he allows you to out-resource your opponent. That's why this deck is so good. And then I do also play another spicy tech, which is Sun Goten, the Family of Justice. I singularly play this card just to counter the veggie package. I like to use this because normally most good players hold their Shugeshes for defensive measures so they can Shugesh Goku me, or most importantly, so they can Shugesh Kale. So what I like to do when I swing, I like to combo with this, destroy their Kaba, so that their Kale is no longer a 3, but a 4. So if they don't have the Goku, they can't end my combo sequence, so I'm able to kill them. So this also is just searchable spot removal, which I like a lot. And then I play some Overrealm cards. I play 2 Foos, 2 Mass Saiyans, which also helps a lot against veggies, and the Jiren deck, as I learned today. It's a really amazing card. I still play the Increasing Evil Max Saiyan because it's also searchable off your Planet Vegeta. And I like this because it hits cards that are blockers, whereas this one cannot hit blockers. If only this card was Double Strike, that'd just be amazing. But I play just the 6 Overrealm cards. And then, because I'm playing the Saiyan engine, I play 4 Planet Vegetas. Planet Vegeta is amazing. You basically have these 6 targets to search off of it. And what this gives me is such a flexibility in my deck's playstyle. It's not only the intricate interactions that this card has with this deck because it's all yellow, but also it's because nobody ever expects a Planet Vegeta, nor do they expect Shugesh Goku, excuse me, nor do they expect me to be able to search out my overall spot removal. So this card can either A, be spot removal, B, the ability to self-awaken, C, an ultimate super combo, or even D, it can allow me to not only cycle through my decked in, but also provide me with an ability to provide the ultimate protection. So it's normally, I like to search out this if I haven't already, because there's normally always a threat in my way that I can't get over by means of battle, especially if it's in active mode. And then this helps me for the veggies. This allows me to self-awaken, and that's why you can get away with playing 1, because you have the 4 to search it out. And then this combo is amazing. So Planet Vegeta is just really, really versatile in this deck. It's not only going to do one thing. Like in a veggie deck, it's not just going to get your Cabo or your Shugesh. Like, it has a lot of options. And I guess I'll just keep this here because these are my extra cards. And another thing is it always lets you know what you have left in your deck and also what's in your life. I play 4 Bloodlusts. Most people play 3. Even the best of players play 3. I personally find that this card is too beneficial. It's absolutely just in a league of its own. There's no card like it. And I find that every deck is always going to struggle against this, and this card single-handedly beats like every deck. Even their best plays, tapping 5, tapping 6 and 7, tap 4, and then you just Bloodlust. They've wasted so much energy, and it's just amazing. This card is a lifesaver. This is the only way to stop the Cell Chain. This is the only way to hit the 10-drop Jiren. This is the only way that you can stop the Goku that says you can't counter. You can't combo for the rest of the turn. This card just beats Universe 7. I mean, Bloodlust is just amazing. It even beats veggies. You just Bloodlust the Kaba, kill it, and it's over. Like, you literally, it's just such an amazing card. Like, Bloodlust is never bad. And I play 4 because I need to see this card. I don't even want to play the risk of, oh, I can draw into it. I want to hard draw it for turn. It's that important. Like, Bloodlust is just a trump card. And it's absolutely unprecedented right now in this current format. Like, it beats everything. And I do play 3 Crusher Balls. Crusher Ball complements my favorite Frieza, the Returning Terror, because I can hit my opponent's card to rest and then KO it on the following. It also allows you to not be OTK'd by a Veggie player, or even when they go March of the Great Apes. You can call Bloodlust on it, or even better, you can call Crusher Ball. While they might go back to active if they have the Planet Vegeta, the thing is they can't attack. So you're able to live a turn. So this card normally is a lifesaver. And then I do play 3 Flying Nimbus. Flying Nimbus is absolutely the best attack negator, period, of the format. And because my deck has searchable blockers, which is even better, I play 9 blockers. Well, normally a blocker in Nimbus is able to end any turn. You can block the attack from the leader, which any smart player normally would attack with their leader first, which I don't know why they do, but they do. You block the attack from the leader, they get 1 more attack from their battle cards, and you just block that. You negate the attack from the leader, and then you block the next one. Nimbus is pretty darn impressive. And that concludes the main deck, you guys. This is my, basically my set 1 Frieza, Frieza's army deck. I really love this deck. I do think it's still competitive, it's still viable, it's still really consistent. This is still the absolute best leader of the format. This deck, you just have to be careful with it because it has so many negates. The one implication that I need to make on this deck is procuring 3 to 4 of that 1-drop yellow Roshi. That I mean, that's 4 more negates for me, and it's yellow, it's perfect, it fits the theme. This deck is absolutely mono yellow minus a couple black cards and maybe 1 green card. But I think that yellow is a really good color. Even though blue's going to be solid for the next format, I find that you can't underestimate yellow. Yellow is the worst matchup for any deck, honestly, especially when you have a deck that's running Bloodlust. But yeah, you guys, God bless you guys. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Y'all have a beautiful night, and you will be hearing from me soon. And I will definitely be providing more Dragon Ball Super content on this channel. But I'm going to go ahead and go to sleep. Peace.